Alright, got the Banes back, people, yeah. If you've been wondering why I've been wearing a cap for the past several videos, well, it's because they cut my hair too short last time, yeah. Well, I've got some good news for you guys. I'm finally making another DVD and Blu-ray update video. I'm not going to go into the reasons why, they're kind of personal and it takes too long to explain anyway, so let's hop into it. There is one DVD I'm going to have to hold off later, but if you've watched all of my videos, you know what it is already. So first one I got was Doctor Who, The Keys of Marinus. Yes, I read it off the back. Story number 5. It's not story number 4 because that story actually doesn't have all the episodes available. If you want to know more information about that, either look the show up or watch Zaron Isaac's Doctor Who videos. Trust me, you'll get a lot from those videos. He actually talked me into buying this along with many other things that I bought in the past. Nothing in this lot though, I think. I'm going to do the rest of the DVDs that I can show you all at once because I've done in-depth reviews from all of these things. It's Parenthood, Seasons 1 through 5. I'm not showing you the covers because the covers can give slight spoilers for later seasons. Season 6, which is the last season of the show, is out, but I don't currently have it, and money's pretty tight right now, not because I bought a lot of stuff, but because of other situations, okay? So I'm not going to be getting that for a while, and I'm not making the review for that until I have it, because if I see it before I have the DVDs, well, I'm not likely to purchase them, and if you've got 5 out of 6 seasons, you'd want to complete the set, right? Put that for later. Another one that you knew that I had, because I did an in-depth review of it, it's Fight Club. Yeah, a lot of people, you know, as I grew up, stated that this was a good movie, but they couldn't really tell me much about it, because they kept claiming that it would spoil the entire plot, so I went into this movie fairly cold, and was actually pretty darn impressed by it. And that ending, I didn't see it coming at all. But this is the kind of movie I really need to rewatch. 1, knowing the plot, and 2, with the commentary tracks on it, because apparently that can help me understand the movie a lot better. It'll happen, but not for a while. This next one was a movie that I had been anticipating, and when I saw it, I liked it, but I didn't really get the best feelings towards the movie. Well, last winter I was spending some of my Christmas money and I saw this and I go, you know what, I'll grab it and give it another watch, and I liked it a lot more the second time around. Goes to show that I haven't seen a movie I don't like from this director yet, even though I have seen his one very bad movie according to most fans, but I like that movie. So what am I talking about? I'm going to offend a few people here. Man of Steel. Not much more I can say about that movie, just, you know, I didn't get it the first time, but the second time I was able to appreciate a lot of the final points, and it's a nice indication that what's been happening in superhero movies is changing in recent years, which reminds me I really need to get caught up on some of the other superhero movies and rewatch some of the older ones, because I haven't seen them in years, and then I can give you guys my true thoughts on them. I should do that. Okay, this next one I'm going to show you is actually a collection of movies that I've been a fan of for a while, but haven't really gotten like the best reads on all these movies, because while I like them when I see them, I don't think I was old enough to like appreciate all the story and all that stuff along with the humor, although I did get some of it as I got older, and plus I don't know if I saw the unrated cuts of these movies, but I'm a big fan of the other noticeable franchise that this actor is a part of, even though I saw these first. What am I talking about? The Riddick Collection. Yes, I had a gift card, because originally this was titled to be $45 plus tax, but I had $25, so it made it worth it. Yeah, I haven't cracked it open yet, but it'll happen one day, then you can get my thoughts on all these movies, you know, in one fell swoop, because that's a vid I made of thoughts on the Riddick movie, not one of my final videos, but hey, they don't all have to be perfect, right? I've already reviewed these next two, so I'm not going to talk about them that too much. I picked up the first two Blade movies. If they had the third one there, I might have picked it up. I'm not entirely sure because I don't totally like that movie. And that reminds me, I still haven't checked out Blade the series. I probably should because apparently I've done some looking up on that, and apparently they firmly have that take place after Blade Trinity. Although I did hear that Wesley Snipes is thinking about making either a fourth movie or a reboot. I hope he does, because just ending it on the third one like that, no, not a good thing. This next one was another movie that I had heard people talk about and mention it as a good movie, but at the same time, there was an almost as big group of people who said that like it was a terrible movie and that the storyline in this movie sucked. Well, I viewed it, and I did like some of it, but I didn't like others. To put it simple, I feel like there's two storylines that take place in this movie. One is literally what is happening to the characters in the movie, and then the second one is like a little deeper, a little trickier to understand story, but once I had that story explained to me, I go, okay, the movie does make a little bit more sense now, and then after reading various fan fictions about this movie that continued the storyline, it compelled me to pick it up and give it another view, even though I haven't done it yet. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Black Swan, but a bunch of you didn't see that coming, and if you're wondering, did this come with the slipcover? No, I just found somebody who was selling the slipcover on eBay, so I picked that up, and then it took me forever to get the actual movie, but I did, so yeah, but it's a pretty well-intact slipcover. I mean, like, it's a little ruffled on this end. I don't think the camera can really pick it up, but hey, I'm not complaining, because if I decide to get rid of this, having the slipcover really increases its value. It's one of those movies. For this one, I've made reviews for all the films in this series, and this one is my favorite of it. I picked up Paranormal Activity 2. So yeah, I think I pissed off a lot of people right there saying that this one is my favorite when a bunch of people like 1 and 3. That's not to say that I didn't like those, but it seems like for virtually this entire series I had almost the opposite reaction as most people, because the first one, I liked it, but in hindsight it was really just a blueprint, people. This one, it took me a little bit to get interested in the characters, but once I did, I was hooked and liked it a lot more than it seems most people did. Third one, I know a lot of people like, but I actually didn't. Fourth one, the exact opposite. Most people were against it. I really enjoyed it. And then the marked ones, well, let's just say that one's biggest strength is also its biggest weakness. It's pretty different from the other movies. I am looking forward to a Ghost Dimensions, but I'm not seeing that in theater, no way. I want to get the right experience, you know, be alone in the dark, and also I want to be able to rewind it when I can, because it's a pretty interwoven story. Right. Let's rearrange here. I've already talked about these next two, so I don't need to do it again. I've got Glee Season 2 and Season 3. I've already made the reviews for these, so there's not much more I can say. And as I mentioned at the end of my review for the third season, I do have the fourth season. I'm trying not to show you the spine because it has characters that are new to the show, you know, so it signifies their importance. I checked out a few episodes of it, and while I liked it, it did feel quite different from the previous 3 seasons, and I just decided to take a break from the show. I'm definitely going to continue with it, but I think when I decide to continue with it, I'm just going to marathon the rest of the show, because it recently ended, and then give you my thoughts on it in one fell swoop. Okay. Now, I bet this is going to be a purchase that'll slightly shock you guys, not because, well, it's not the kind of thing you would think that I would get, but it's because it's the kind of thing that I would get, and I just haven't gotten it for forever. What's the answer to the riddle? Dun dun dun! Yeah. last fall, curiosity finally got the best of me, and I decided to pick this up, but obviously I haven't unwrapped it yet. It'll happen, trust me. But, yeah. So rest assured, I definitely will be continuing with Supernatural at some point. People have said that the quality goes down, but as I've gotten more educated in TV lore, especially since I finished watching Supernatural Season 5, I've realized that most people say that of pretty much any show. I mean, like, for crying out loud, I watch tons of reality shows, and I can tell you the quality has gone down, even though I still enjoy them. But no flames, please. Now, I was originally going to review the series that these movies were in, but after sitting on it for a little bit, I just decided not to, because while these are nice movies, they don't totally generate their own individual film series review, even though, like I said, I do like them, but it is going to be a while before I rewatch them. So, whatever, I got Taken 1 and Taken 2. Don't have Taken 3 yet, but I have seen it. So, briefly summing up my thoughts on these movies. Well, unfortunately, I had some of the plot for this one spoiled, so it wasn't like as suspenseful as I think they intended it to be, but I really did like it, and I thought it was pretty creative. This one I know a lot of people liked, but I actually didn't have too many problems with it, although I'll be firmly honest. A big dislike that people have with this is that Liam Neeson here is totally ignorant of like the innocent bystanders and doesn't really care if any property damage is done. Well, I didn't have a problem with it here because, you know, he's in like the ghettos of Europe, so who cares that there's damage, you know? But here, you know, well, he was just barreling for the streets of Turkey, a nation that has tons of international tensions from what I last heard. Yeah, I definitely had a problem with it there, and it definitely wasn't as suspenseful, although I thought the new stuff that they did in here were pretty good. And as for my thoughts on the third one, it was creative, but easily the worst of the three, and a couple of twists that they did in there. Yeah. Not too sure if I'll ever pick that one up. Now this, I am going to make a review for. First season of The Walking Dead, people. I actually marathoned this whole season in one day because it's only 6 episodes. Pretty good viewing, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I know I'm late to the party, but who isn't on most TV shows these days? Now, this is a movie that I enjoyed and feel like I can relate to, but the problem was I kept seeing this movie go for like crazy prices for the Blu-ray. I kept seeing it at like $12.99, $14.99, and I'm like, this is $7.99 tops, okay? I am not paying $13 plus tax for this movie. Well, I was in Target about a month ago, and I saw it on the rack for $4.75, and it stated that there wasn't going to be any tax because it was on sale. I snagged it in a heartbeat. I'm talking about Larry Crowne, starring and directed by Tom Hanks. Yeah, my dad rented this movie about when it first came out on DVD for rentals, and I actually grew to like it, despite the fact of the first 20 minutes or so being pretty depressing and not really that interesting. I do agree, though, with most people out there, it does seem to have flaws, and there were some Will Ferrell humor moments in there, oh please, but I don't know, I just like this a lot more than most people out there seem to do. I'm not entirely sure why. Only 2 left. Another TV series that I just finished and will make a review for, and I bet a lot of you are going to be throwing your arms up like this because it's been forever since I reviewed the first season of this. You should be able to guess. Game of Thrones, baby! Yeah. I've got some thoughts on this, trust me. And finally, this is another series that my dad showed me a while back. Definitely gave me a new appreciation for the people that were in this situation, even though I do think, while this does show like how intense what these people went through, it definitely doesn't show the dark side of it that well, even though it does come pretty close, trust me. I think the sequel to this miniseries definitely showed the darker side pretty well. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the HBO show, minus Game of Thrones, that everybody is talking about. Band of Brothers, and yes, this is the Blu-ray. It did come with one of those, like, flap things that come over here, which is why the title's so low, but those things, you know, you have to keep sliding them off every time you open, and just like, I honestly hate those things. Here's just my advice, okay? Either just put the Blu-ray logo freaking right here in the middle, or don't make the flap like a removable flap. Put a permanent blue banner here. Just enough with the things that you take off and all that stuff, because it throws the title off. Because, like, here's another example. Rant time! It's just like, what they're doing with the Star Wars books. Posting the Legends banner, it bumps this down. Just like, really? Do you have to do that? Just... You know, I mean, like, I know it's a little bit of OCD, and that, honestly, it's not really as big of a deal as I'm making it seem, but it just feels stupid. But, yeah, but I'll admit there really are tons of other worse things that I could talk about this, but we're not going to, yeah. Okay, well, I finally got this out for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys next time.